Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Let's continue. So we fast traveled to this safe house that we just had never even been to, and it brought us further away from where the story wants us to go, which is fine because it only really took us about a single step away. Like we very possibly were standing somewhere right about here, and then we fast traveled to there. It is difficult, you can see here, to really know for certain that you've got, let's see, everything in an area. Also seems like we just saw there was a grid link in that area, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to find some long jump to try and make that. There, I clipped through the wall.
Do I really have to explain that to you?
No. Sorry.
Good. I'm sending you his last known location. Please go and see what you can find.
Here's the problem. How do you get out of this now? Like, I got the data link, but there isn't really a wind up here. I'm going to have to just be on the exact edge here, hope a jump can make it so that I can grab the ledge, and that's really all I'm going to be able to do. There's no air braking or anything where I could like run around this edge and grab that. I can't like try and grab a ledge here. So, like, best case scenario, you try to look at your feet and see if maybe there's a foot or two where you actually float in the air. And I bet it doesn't work that way. I bet looking down is a mistake because then your hands aren't in the right place. And if your hands aren't in the right place, I bet the game knows that and won't let you get around that. Even if I could, like, is there really no way through here? It almost feels like you could just clip through the roof. Or clip through this. Punching glass doesn't break it, which really feels like it should. And you know what? It's not even worth the effort. Like, instead of falling again, just go back this way and fast travel back to the safe house and start from there. Yeah. I'm getting, it feels like, increasingly bad at falling. And there really is just something everywhere. Something to collect everywhere. Let's see. Here's a grapple point to climb up. How do you reach that grapple point? Climb up that. Where is the black spot? Like it feels like it would be here. Is there some other aspect? It's floaty. Certainly. Yeah, it's difficult to get on specific spots. It seems like it's some other ability must unlock at some point. Because that swing is just not high enough, or that grapple point's not high enough. I can't jump to that. Here we have a yellow thing, but that doesn't really mean anything. We already got a computer chip here. There definitely is possibilities of reaching a higher spot. At least we can succeed for the most part getting computer chips. That's the only thing I'm particularly good at. But I would have to just get up higher and in here. Let's see. That seems to tell me that there's probably a way to get that one. And any of these could be connected to dashes. But you really wouldn't want to do this during a dash. Here you have soda machines. Oh, it really does just feel like you're gonna spend way too much time running through some of this stuff. Looking for collectibles. And I would say the game is doing kind of a bad job of making it like more obvious as to what reward you get for getting all the grid links in an area. It definitely feels like it's really going to be more of a post-game element. Yeah, I still don't see a way you would really get up to some of these areas also. It is a little weird that you're getting XP and yet the game talks about script as in money. It'd kind of make more sense to have only one currency in the game. Yeah, I see no way to get up to that. It feels like you have to find a way into this room and exit that room, which might be doable, might not. Very tiny hallway here. And this is taking me out into another like delivery location. So here we have another quest. And I should just try one of these. There's no reason to be that rigid about stuff. I guess maybe the trick here is to run this way and then see if, oops, not run that way. That might have been a place where it would have been better to have a window to stop you from jumping through that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the game actively removed many places where windows may have existed, so that you could jump through places even if the game actively really doesn't want you to do that. There we go. Double tap in that direction. Like the first area, it should have been very easy. There should have been a quest to just say, go ahead and collect everything in this area right now so you can see what the reward is for doing that. If it would just secure an area or increase your speed or something, or increase your health, or just give you a decent amount of XP. It wouldn't have hurt for the game to make you level up and make a big deal about leveling up at least once before you can go out and move the story forward. We still have a lot of these people, and frankly this runner seems to appear in multiple places, which that may just be the fact that they're reusing only 4 or 5 skins, which I kind of wonder if that is what the experience would be like if I was playing online, is that it would be more of a experience where you run into online players and they have 1 of 5 skins. We are back to an area where I'm fairly certain we have been. We can kind of tell you've been here. As far as the actual storyline, we're supposed to be looking for Icarus. Nearly fell to my death. There. Ooh, it is just so easy to assume that there's a grapple point when there isn't. It's easy to miss a grapple point. It's easy to assume there is one. Definitely feels like these grid links spawn at different times. So it might be a case where we do have to run back through the world quite a bit. I could just go talk to Plastic by fast traveling to her if I get frustrated enough on this. But that wouldn't be the right experience. Clearly the experience they want you to have on this is more of a linear connected experience.
Diversion needed. Good script. We need a diversion to cover for a small job.
I don't think I quite like the voice acting for that character's face model. Okay, good. Let's go. A different kind of quest. Where we're supposed to run through this. It kind of would make more sense for there to have been more divergent quests early on, but we hadn't met Dogen at that point. It's weird that there's a timer here. Like,
Damn it, we've been seen. Disperse. Dogen won't like this.
let's go ahead and retry that because I don't really want to get into a fight with these guys, but this isn't much different from the dashing, and it does kind of highlight the issues you would run into with any like any of these quests, is that you are going to do better if you have stamina, do better if you're better at running and parkouring. All of these challenges definitely feel like they are 2 or 3 tiers more difficult than what you would kind of expect. Let's see.
Excellent. Lead them off.
There's almost certainly faster ways through these dashes. That was a waste of time, and you really don't have any time to waste like that. Okay.
We need a diversion to cover
Let's
for a
see.
small job.
Start abort mission. Okay. So when we look at the map and we see the mission, it's not even being marked now, so maybe I just blew that mission, as it were. And let's just fast travel to Plastic and do the side quest. We still have a lot of Black November talking. I think that's Black November.
What's the beat?
I think one of your runner friends is lost.
What? Who? How do you know she's my
Too many
friend?
questions. I don't know her name. Maybe you don't know her. She was expanding my metagrid access like you did, but we lost contact.
Give me the location. I'll go look.
I'll send it. I'm sorry, Faith.
No, it's not your fault.
You kind of get the feeling that the runners are, for the most part, very friendly with each other. It's definitely comes off as a fairly tight-knit like group, out of necessity, out of just being hunted by
Show her last known location now. I've tapped into Kruger's tech comms, and they're talking about some runner being tracked. I bet it's her. The metagrid really is worth tapping into. You should hear the things the families talk about. A lot of them are worried about reflection, and there are those who think Kruger is pushing it too hard.
So this is Metagrid. Storyline as a side mission. Plastic has sent another runner to expand her Metagrid access, and is now that runner seems to be in trouble, trapped and surrounded by Kruger Kasek force. Locate the runner and help her escape.
I'm there. And so is Kruger's sick.
Maybe I could call them off.
What do you need for that?
To override their current directive, the alarm must go through the verified alert terminal. There's one near you. Or you could just attack them, of course. But my way is more fun.
So it seems like it's a side mission. It could be a stealth mission, but it doesn't seem like you can just do it. It doesn't seem like the runner's vision is going to particularly tell you which way to go, since there are two potentially different ways to move about. Okay. And this is just kind of marked as an area. Okay. If I ran against that wall, there's a pipe that runner's vision is showing me that it can let me get to the other side of this fence. Okay. And then that lets me come over here and activate
I'm at the
this.
terminal.
Would have made a lot more sense to point that out, have a camera fly around. That was a really simplistic side mission. That was too simplistic.
You should go tell your friend that she's safe.
Let's see. Up this way. And then up this way. And then up this way. You can see, you can hear how out of breath she is. Then crawl this way for a cutscene.
Hey, you're safe.
I don't even know who she is.
You're Faith, aren't you?
Some new character.
Plastic send you?
She did.
It's a little late to introduce even new
Thought I was done
characters.
No worries. See you around.
I'm wondering if the tattoo on her arm is going to be some kind of pattern that gets automatically scanned with perfection by the grid and hides the grid or messes up the grid. If that is the case, then you would almost assume that that tattoo has never been seen by the grid and has been just secretly in control by Dogen, or in Dogen's possession this whole time since the grid has been set up. Well, we kind of have nothing else to do. It would be maybe slightly helpful to fast travel this way, but probably not. We need to work our way in opposite directions back to the lair and to the main story. I'd like to even go this way, but it is basically only this tunnel that gets you from this part of the city to the other part of the city. Let's see. At one level, I want to know if these dashes, if you could play these dashes then fast travel to them later if you've just done it once. On another level, I kind of just want to know if we are doing anything well. Alright. Go. It might be a case that some of these dashes are not as difficult as they seem, or some of the other ones that we've done. At the very least, doing the dashes will probably have you run into they'll probably have you run into grid leaks. So that put me in class 5. And I think you just live with that, really. That was... what dash? That was donkey in the oven. And now we can teleport to that. Whereas this one, we can't teleport to. So it is totally worth it to start a dash going forward if you have nothing else happening, just to get another teleport point. On the other hand, we can also just teleport now to the lair. A lot of this I don't get, and at a certain level this was not absent in the first Mirror's Edge game too. There was some kind of DLC or some challenges, or like homemade up, homebrewed personal challenges out there. I vaguely remember it, that were just a little insane as far as what they were really asking the player to do. We're getting all kinds of emblems and things for completing little challenges, although I don't know if the game tells you what those challenges are. I guess the question does come down to, is it worth it to teleport again? Yeah, I don't know if it really is.
Runner, I have a job for you.
Let's try this.
Package contains a small statue
Again,
which has
we've
quite
tried it
affectionate
before.
value for me. I'm giving it away. Don't break it. Ruin it.
I'm not sure he remembers what the statue means to me, what it used to signify. I mean, we were young back then. We were different people. We had dreams. We had places to go, things to see.
So this really is
Before the riots, of
just a
course.
matter of
Our friends died that day, and it feels like we've spent the years afterwards
not
trying to blot it out of
crashing
our minds.
and making the jumps.
After the riots, we spent a week holed up in my apartment. The statue was standing on the table in my living room. We used to joke about it being there, present for all our conversations, looking at us with unseeing eyes, listening but not hearing, still registering everything. I hope that when he sees it, some spark of what he used to be is reignited.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
It's not worth it if he doesn't change too. Damn it, you've ruined everything!
Yeah, it's still very much that Sonic problem. You don't know where you're going, and the echoes don't move fast enough. It really should just be a solid red line. I have no idea if I am 5 feet away from solving this race, or if I'm like 20 feet away. Like, you probably do want to double jump on anything.
After the riots, we spent a week holed up in my apartment. The statue was standing on the table in my living room. We used to joke about it being there, present for all our conversations, looking at us with unseeing eyes.
Let's see.
Listening but not hearing, still registering everything.
Yeah, and if you go the wrong direction, you're not going to find it.
Things must change, but it's not worth it if he doesn't change too. Damn it, you've ruined everything!
It's nice to have this whole dialogue play, but it feels like it should just play out even if you failed the mission.
This package contains a small statue which has quite an affectionate value for me. I'm giving it away. Don't break it or ruin it.
I'm not sure he remembers what the statue means to me, what it used to signify. I mean, we were young
I
back then.
think
We
you
were different
probably
people. We
get
had
3
dreams,
breaks.
we had places to go.
It would probably be nice if increasing your stamina here
This was before
would
the riots, of course.
also
Our friends
increase
died
the
that
number of
day,
times you
and
could
it feels like
collapse.
we've spent the years
But
afterwards
that
trying to
really
blot it
wouldn't
out of our
change
minds.
much.
After the riots, we spent a week holed up in my apartment. The statue was standing on the table in my living room.
This is like
We
kind
used
of
to joke
a
about it
very
being there,
important
present for all our
storyline.
conversations, looking at us with unseeing eyes, listening but
I actually now, finally on the 5th or 6th try, have found,
when he sees it, some spark of what he used to be is
saw where I was supposed to be.
Things must change, but it's not worth it if he doesn't change too.
And that's really where the story ends, I guess.
She told me she'd I don't get why she couldn't use Cascadia logistics like normal people. She wants to put a flare on things.
And that's just where the camera was pointing, and I was drinking water. Okay, well, as far as that goes, that's it, I guess. that quest is gone. It is missing from the map. You can never do it again. It's probably a smart move to go in that direction and try to do every fragile delivery opportunities going forward. That way it just clears off things on the map. It's not like this is a huge map, but yeah, I could see some arguments around just marking things off and finishing things up. There's a lot of stuff kind of in this area as far as dashes, and the dashes will be the thing that stays around forever. Let's see, we have 13 of 22 security chips in this area. And have we done Birdman's route before? Can we zoom in? Apparently not. So we might as well play it. Okay. Let's do this, even though this is taking us in the exact wrong direction. Like, it's definitely going to be these runs that are going to suck. And I don't think that there's a particularly great way that we've seen yet to improve on this. And that looks like I had already done that. Because it just said try again there. Yeah, I had apparently already done that one. It's easy to get distracted and end up doing something twice. Have we ever even been in this safe house? Like, here we have red flags. Yeah, I kind of suspect I've never even been in this safe house before. We'll go ahead and take another thing, hack another screen. Here's a whole document. I guess it does make sense to investigate these areas. This is an exit only. Really, there's no way you're going to be able to get back up that. Okay. So, set the path and the waypoint back. This is kind of an area we've been. And at a weird pace, you kind of need to slow down and walk around these kinds of areas to see if there's any collectibles you've missed, which is very possible. It probably would make some sense if there was a day-night cycle, and for some reason there would be a reason that you shouldn't or couldn't run at night, but you wouldn't be attacked at night if you don't run. Most games you spend most of your time like actively just wandering around looking for collectibles, at least if it's a game with collectibles in it. Here you have a very odd situation where you're going to have that self-control to decide whether or not you're in collectathon mode or whether you're in running mode. It wouldn't be crazy to have like a broken foot mechanic or something. You twist your foot, you hurt your foot at the beginning of the game, and you have to just walk around a lot, or you twist your foot whenever you take a bad fall, and then that requires you to walk around. It would definitely make more sense to increase your speed based on grid leaks and other things you've collected. Like if it increased it by 0.01% as far as your speed for every grid link, and there was like 100, and then it made you 10% faster in the game, even that small amount would be probably something you could feel and notice. And if you told me that each of these computer chips being collected actually increased your like damage you did against enemies, and it increased like your punching, that would be great too. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, we've got several people in the way here. This is another grid thing. Alright. Let's get to this guy. Knock him out. We just found the security hub again. So we found the security hub at nighttime also, which tells you you're not safe at nighttime. I didn't really believe I would have been. Alright. Here we go. It almost feels like they are getting more difficult every time we do one of these. This was that area that was kind of a Easter egg in reference to the first game. I really haven't found any other areas that feel like there's Easter eggs or references to the first game though. And I guess it logically does not make sense to try and sit around and wait for daytime just to get a better animation. Cutscene with Birdman. Birdman's a great example of a character that they introduced and then really haven't done anything with. Birdman used to be a runner, and he's seen Cascadia transform under conglomerate tyranny. He might be a grumpy old bastard, but he's always been there for you, and that counts for something in the city. If he needs help, it's definitely worthwhile checking out what needs doing.
Hey, what's the beat?
You tell me, girl. I try to avoid the news as much as I can.
And again, as soon as I take my hand off the controller, the camera does not target the heads of characters.
Gone missing. I'd go look for them myself, but I've come to accept that I'm not as nimble as I used to be. What are you smiling at? Anyway, their locator beacons are still active. If you could find out what happened to them, I'd be grateful.
I'll find them for you.
Thank you. The first beacon is not too far from here.
It would make a lot of sense for there to have been a mini game that was introduced and could not be avoided to find packs of birds for Birdman.
They're most likely dead, both of them.
I lost runner's vision, so I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going. There's something beeping. And I guess you maybe just are having to follow the beeping sounds. Okay, let's get up here. Inside a fenced thing.
Found a Rydo. She's dead. Shot. I'm sorry.
I understand. Please take the message capsule if it's still there.
Got it.
And this was that
Thank you.
fenced-in area.
Find Thalia.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So this is just giving you more excuse to run around in an area that's fairly underpopulated. We do see birds on jumps, making kind of a reference to Assassin's Creed, as far as places that look like they're relatively safe to jump from. So it would have made some sense to have those bird spots marked for him to give you another 10 XP. It's not like this game hands out XP fairly nicely, so you don't really need more quests because of XP limitations as much as I would just hope that there was more gameplay. Yeah.
Maybe I should shoot some Kruger sect for sport.
Yeah. It does kind of feel like you should have more gameplay and less repetition. Right.
Talia found. Also dead. And the capsule is gone.
That's not good.
Now notice that just started this cutscene and the grid link is missing.
Sure.
And then here we are and the grid link is gone. That seems weird. So these grid links do just come and go. What is this?
Another runner was here.
Another runner? Maybe they have the capsule.
Apparently these echoes just always exist on your hacked grid link.
I found the capsule. Another runner hid it. Left a cabal mark I haven't seen before.
Well, I owe them thanks regardless. And you, Faith? Thank you.
Where's this cabal mark?
Now I need to train 2 new birds.
Here, I guess this is a new cabal, of which there seems to be some possibility here. We have 2 upgrade points, so we could 10% shield bonus. We could do a double wall run, which probably is a smart move instead of getting an extended slide, or climb efficiency. Actually, we should take climb efficiency as 1 for sure, and then light attacks for more focus shields, I guess. And I guess you take this mission. Hey, can I jump down this way and roll and not die? No, I can't. Alright, well then we'll jump, slide, let go. Here is that grid link. So we'll grab that. There's 6 more in this area. But it would, I think, be fairly hard to find all 6 of them. I say as I find one. Alright. Or 2 of them. I might be kind of trapped here. Okay. So we should take this quest, but it is seemingly the case that Birdman and his side quests are done in the same way that the plastic side quest is done. So maybe we'll unlock some other plastic and Birdman quests later on, or maybe not.
I have a package that needs to be delivered right away, but you have to be careful with the contents. Breaks, we might have there's some problems.
If anybody at Elysium Labs finds out that I stole this prototype, my career will...
Not only did that kill me in the fall, that probably killed me just because I fell. That probably wasn't because I carrying something that's like explosive. If it was that you can't fall even once.
Finds out that I stole this prototype, my career will be over, but it's worth it. The outcasts are dying in the Grey Lands, and this regenerative formula will help. Diseases of all kinds are ravaging those poor souls, and nobody is doing anything about it. Well, that stops now. Maybe this won't solve anything, but at least I'm trying. I just can't stand idly by and watch as the conglomerate ruins what little the outcasts have left.
This definitely feels like yet another case where you're going to just have to struggle through this multiple times. We have 15 seconds. And I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
I just got a message that the vial broke.
So, you've got to get it perfect.
I have a package that needs to be delivered right away, but you have to be careful with the contents. If the vial breaks, we might have some problems.
If anybody at Elysium Labs finds out that I stole this prototype,
I can't jump. So how do I get down there faster? Because it clearly isn't that you're supposed to be able to climb or slide down these pipes fast. Even though there is an ability to.
If anybody at Elysium Labs finds out that I stole this prototype, my career will be over. But it's worth it. The outcasts are dying in the Grey Lands, and this regenerative formula will help. Diseases of all kinds are ravaging those poor souls, and nobody is doing anything about it. Well, that stops now. Maybe this won't solve anything, but at least I'm trying. I just can't stand idly by and watch as the conglomerate ruins what little the outcasts have left.
This is a great example, though, where trying to do this race without the grapple ability would not have worked. Yeah, and apparently sliding is too slow, so you should jump. But rolling is too slow. Come on.
Hey, I'm waiting here.
And it doesn't matter if it's 1 second left or 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Even if it was like 30 or 40 seconds extra, it doesn't matter. But clearly there needs to be an animation where it shows you hand it there and then it moves the camera up to average face height. Like, I'm just going to habitually grab my water cup every time I finish a mission because I have to keep my hands in position otherwise. Can't fast travel here, so let's set this as our next direction. It's totally possible that I am very close to the remaining 4 or 5 data grid points. I guess that's a different kind of thing you can land on. Yeah. I feel like you would still struggle, though. Yeah, to get the remaining data grid points. And crossing this bridge does give me the impression that I probably moved into a different area, even though nothing changed. Right. We need to go up here. It feels like, I wonder what the number is, by the way, that pops up. It's always the exact same number. It kind of feels like you should get all the data grid points and have the ability to see where all of them are on the map. And then once you collected all the data grid points, that would potentially push you towards knowing on the map where all the computer chips are. This commercial plays and makes that sound effect, but it still has not registered for me to actually look at the commercial. Yeah, it definitely feels like there should be an area of influence or something bigger, though, because you're inevitably going to end up having to just try to find the highest spots you can reach to look around for a data grid leak, which very possibly is inside a building, so you wouldn't be able to see it anyways. Yeah, this could be anywhere. It could be up top on this. It could be kind of anywhere. Walking across this bridge is a checkpoint. It saved when I did that. But it still feels like we are in the same region. Yeah. Ideally, there would be a light tower that points where a data grid is, or something bigger to mark where data grids are. But I guess it doesn't matter that much because you are basically guaranteed you're basically guaranteed to be able to find all the grid links later on. This is just going back to where Birdman it was. Let's see. Or if it even just made a little bit more of an audio sound from further away. This is Birdman's route. We've already done that 2 or 3 times now. It's a shame that there's not really collectibles option here. You have your total intel and your total recordings, but I guess you do have this. Apparently there's 3 more documents in this area and 7, 8 electronic parts in this area. There are 3 runner kits available in this area, which if you got the last grid link and all the documents and all the electronic parts, that would probably give you 1 kit for doing each of those goals. It definitely does feel like at this point, every time we see one of these people, we should mark them in our mind. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like you can actually mark them on the map, but knowing that there is a person there tells you where you're going to go later on in some delivery or some run. None of these people are extra, even though that's very much what it felt like it was going to be. And this feels like this would be probably our last opportunity to try and find a grid link, if there is one that we can easily find. Because once I cross that bridge, I think I'm in a different region. What it doesn't feel like, though, is that there's actually enough dashes in this game or in this area that would push you towards running by next to grid links and other content. So it might heavily be a case that they expected people to online make their own races and have their own races point players towards collectibles. But since I'm not playing with any of the online content, and if there is any online content, it's almost certainly content that was created by a player many, many months, if not years ago, that's really not the way to develop your game. To try and have somebody else actually develop your content for you, even though a lot of game developers try to pull that trick. Alright. So, yeah. It totally is believable that you could have fans make a race. See, we're in a different area now. That was 18 of 21. So we didn't get them all. fact, I have no idea where I'm really heading with this. Other than it's taking me further away from the goal. The map needs to be able to curve in on itself so that you could run around one building and then get back on path towards your destination. And it doesn't do that. That would require a wagon wheel style of building design more than kind of a grid link or a square grid style of building design, which I would say these buildings are a little bit more in a grid style than they are in just wild wagon wheel styles. All the roads would have to be a lot more curved.
Faith, Icarus has gone missing and I can't reach him on the beat.
Why is this my problem?
Do I really have to explain that to you?
No. Sorry.
Good. I'm sending you his last known location. Please go and see what you can find.
They still have a lot of work that needs to be put into this parkour movement technology. It's like getting downward and just being able to jump and smoothly jump down and intend to land on your feet is something that really I would like to see them improve upon. Like, part of the idea of video games, and particularly modern video games that aren't really attempting to be any kind of challenge, is to make the player feel cool and awesome. In the same way you watch a action movie, you wanna feel like you're
Coming back, but you're doing good, Faith. The others look up to you. Even Icarus, I think. Anyway, it's good that Dogan was interested in your offer. Get that damn drive off of our hands and you're dead squared.
new dialogue there at least. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to relate to the action hero in an action movie. So, while I wouldn't want this game to turn into just 100% cutscenes and it just turn into high action animation, there is definitely... Oh, well, maybe that was how you were supposed to do that. Maybe it wasn't. It would definitely be nice to stop falling on my face. Okay. It'd also be nice to just have a better concept here as to the slow times and the fast times. I bet in many scenarios when you are being chased, the game disappears a lot of these grid links and makes it so you can't collect them. But we're also in a region right now where it is like 20 out of 45 grid links. 01/1942. That's probably not anything, not a year. It could be 01 as in January 19th, 2042 or 3042. That would make sense as potentially a reference to Faith's birthday or something like that.
What the hell is wrong with this thing?
Icarus?
Faith, can you open up my signal? I'm in a bit of a bind here.
I could not jump on the ledge there because there was stuff in the way. That's weird. I don't think there would have been a way to get up here any other way. Like, I don't think you can do something to go backwards and forwards like that. And yeah, you definitely can't once you have the grapple hook, and any push of the button takes you to just grapples you up to the top. Okay. So we are probably going up here and across there. That would be my guess. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like what at full stamina, full shield, you should be able to land and maybe have a slow recovery, but not so much of a devastating effect when you land, particularly if there's just nobody around you and you're not in the mode where Kruger-sec is chasing you. It would just make a lot more sense to land and have your hands like this and just take a second, come up. Pow, up. Pow, up. Even that would be fairly slow compared to rolling, which maintains your momentum. But it is rather demoralizing to fall as much as I am and have to watch the cutscene telling me I fell. In a lot of ways, it probably would also make some sense to go for this grid node instead of the main story. But I think we'll just start with the main story for this area. This area has a lot more collectibles. I wish there was a way to move or highlight specific areas. Like this is Trumerite Drive, and then you just have to move the cursor over to know where Concord Plaza is. And in Concord Plaza, there's literally only one document left to find. And then at a certain point you get to this City of Glass area, and unless that changes, that wherever you see City of Glass on the left, I guess tells you that you actually aren't ever going to reach those areas. So this is Eden Village. This will play a role. And then this is City of Glass. And then oddly there is an Ocean Pier, which I'm not sure if that means the Ocean Pier will be a section or if they just marked it as some kind of special section. I wouldn't be surprised if that is a sub-boss. Then you have City of Glass, City of Glass, City of Glass, until you get to Shimmering Heights. And then City of Glass with a little bit of Zuffer Transit Hub. And then you have a development zone. And then City of Glass. So yeah, I think that pretty much tells you there is probably only 3 or 4 areas that we haven't seen. Oh, probably only 2 areas if I was really to guess, that I haven't seen. So unless we go to a completely different city, which I kind of question at this point, we've seen a lot of the city. It's way linear for a game that's pretending like it's an open world game. It probably would have been better just to have the whole game be linear like the original version, because I feel like actual runs, even the story runs, were probably better in the first game. But we'll wait and withhold judgment. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me, there's a bunch of social media links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.